Hi guys, I'm Jessica with Advanblack, and we are here with Frankie Loyal.
How you doing?
Hi Frankie.
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I'm
All
so
right.
happy you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
So we put some bags on your bike today.
You did. Thank you, Advanblack. Thank you so much. Feels like Christmas arrived early this year.
Yeah, so your 2007 Street Glide.
Right.
Yeah, and we got you 14 and up bags.
Thanks. Good for traveling. I appreciate that because I'm on this thing every day.
Yeah, Ty installed them. He did such a great job.
You did.
But while we have you here, I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. I know we've talked for the last, month or so.
Right.
Yes, and I met you through Bartell's Harley Davidson. Shout
Yes.
out to Bartell's.
Big shout out to Bartell's.
I was talking to Tom, and he did our introduction.
Thank God for Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me, why Harley Davidson?
Why not Harley Davidson? American made, good durable bikes. I mean, you build a history with these machines. They just become a component in your everyday life.
Yeah, and you're a regular everyday rider.
A daily rider, yes. Rain or shine, I'm out there. I don't know if that's keeping it real or a bit risky at times, but it's just what I don't know any other way, to be honest.
Yeah, and this is the bike of choice.
I've got this, and I have an 03 Road King Anniversary Special. I gave that one a little bit of a break, so this one is actually the daily rider. So the fact that I got new bags that actually hold and the engine holds well, this is going to do me proper for
The long rides.
a long haul here. Looking
So-
forward to getting on the road.
Yes, we were talking this weekend. I think you went up to Arizona.
Went to Arizona with a buddy. We went to the Grand Canyon, had dinner, and made a quick turnaround. It was just a quick weekend getaway. It was nice, much needed. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So I Googled you. Yes. And I read that you were a vocalist and a drummer in a punk rock band.
Yeah, a punk rock oi band. Yes, played in quite a few of them since I was a teenager, and I kept that going up until about the time the show started, and that had to stop. Well, we stopped that immediately just to focus on filming, but hopefully going to get back on the road and do that.
So how did that come about? Your
Which one?
Mayans role.
Well, I did audition for Sons. There was a character I auditioned for, and that didn't go through, which was okay because that character was killed off. So I never had a chance to do Mayans. But I mean, it's a true story when I say it, but I actually kind of kicked down the door to be seen. And casting, they took me. You know, they gave me a call, and at the time I didn't have representation. I just fired my agent, and they managed to see me and met up with Kurt and Elgin, and I booked a role. And
What
it
a
was
blessing.
a dream
That's
come true.
awesome.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy to think about what I did, you know, as far as like just, you know, being seen without representation. Like I said, because my agent wasn't doing the job at the time. I mean, I couldn't put my fate in anybody that wasn't going to work towards my best interests for something that worked out for everybody. You know?
Right.
So
I don't know the industry, but I'm sure it's pretty difficult to get in.
I had my first role in 1996, and you
Okay.
had good years, and you had years that were tough, and unknowing years if you knew you were going to work. But this show, you know, it was a good number of years under my belt, and I was grateful. I had a good place to go to, worked with good people.
And you
know.
got to ride.
I got to ride. I mean, I ride to and from work every day, but we got to ride a bit on the show, and that was fun. And I think the only thing that was different is when the show ended, you know, I didn't ride the set anymore because the clubhouse became a parking lot again, and we were, you know, no longer on location, and that was a bitter pill, I'm not gonna lie.
So is there a memorable part of that show that had to do with a ride or anything?
Yes, I have one moment in my life that I will never forget. It was when we were filming the first season, the first pilot actually. So in the first episode you see of Mayans, you see a prospect ride down the freeway and he runs over a crow. And in the original script, I run over the crow on my bike. And I remember while we were filming that shot, and it never aired, you had Kurt Sutter, and he was on this truck, but there was several cameras, all different angles. And I remember riding, on this open highway, and I remember looking in the distance, knowing Kurt and everybody, they were filming us, or filming me in that particular moment, going, I never thought I would, have the chance to make this actually happen, where, I've tried to get on this guy's radar for a couple of years, and he's actually filming me right now. And the sky was, it was dusk, I believe, and it was just pretty open, it was spacious desert landscape. And
it must have felt surreal.
I felt a little accomplished. I had that moment, and that was probably one moment with the show that I'll always remember. It was just such a wow. It kind of, I think the metaphor is don't ever doubt your ability to try to make something happen.
Yeah.
And I think that was the confirmation that this is what happens when you
believe
are
in
persistent
yourself
and you fight for what you want.
Right.
So that was monumental.
That accomplishment feeling of I'm doing it.
Right. And it's happening. But you're also, it feels like you're underwater in one moment, but you're present. You're just kind of all over the place. Your brain's working at 20 different operatives at the same time, and it's a trip.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I also was reading that you have a new project right now.
Oh.
The clothing line.
Yeah, my partner Trinidad Garcia and I just got Trinidad jeans and denim, and we launched the Loyal jean back in December at Bartell's Harley Davidson, a great dealership. And it's 100% salvage denim, American made, everything, cotton, grown in the US of A, and we're proud of it. It's a good riding jean. That's why we designed this particular style, and the response has been good, and it makes me happy.
Yes,
to know it's out there.
I looked at it, all beautiful.
Thanks.
What was the line called? The other line?
Trinidad.
The Trinidad line, beautiful too.
He's an amazing guy. He's a Marine, he's a veteran, served, and when he came back from deployment, he decided to go to fashion school. That's how he chose to
retire.
Kind of want to retire and kind of go back into the world. And
art.
Interesting story. And how we met was, I was trying to find the perfect riding jean, and
why not make one?
And he talked about a collaboration, and it took a couple years before we actually did the launch, because I wanted to try the jean to make sure it was the right fit. And we had 4 prototypes. The last prototype we put 20,000 miles on. I mean, they could walk by themselves at that point, but we had to know. I mean, snow, rain, sandstorms, wind. I went down on the asphalt, everything. They held up, so they're a good jean. We stand by them. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure we will see them very soon. The girl line, the female line.
Yeah, the Mrs. Loyals will be coming out soon, and this is also a new line of Loyals that'll be coming out, the camel ones, and so we've got some things happening. It's been keeping me busy, and I've got a good partner. So it's, as much as it's work, it doesn't feel like work, because we love what we do.
Exciting, nice. So you've been writing for a long time.
Yeah, well, I guess I lose track because I write every day. It's just. I don't think about it too much. I've got a couple guys that I hang out with, and that's just our daily thing. The one time we did have a cage, we had a rental, and we were driving around. I'm just going to tell the story.
Please.
That was my buddy, and our other buddy Judd, who was in the back seat, and we all ride together, and it was pouring rain or something like that. And I remember Judd was in the back seat, and all of a sudden he kind of screams pretty loud, "How come nobody's talking?" And I looked at my other friend, and he's like, "It's because we're all used to being on the bikes together. We're not used to being in an enclosed
car
cage together." And so I just think I get up, I got to be somewhere. I ride. If the bike's down, I walk or I jog, or you know what I mean. It's just it's just part of it.
The car was not for you.
No, and that's how I got this bike. My other bike was down for a moment, and my dear friend and brother, said, "Hey, try my bike." And I was like, I'm good. And I fell in love with it. And when he even suggested how much he would sell it for, I bought it outright. I didn't waste any time. I wanted this bike. I've been better for it ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So any plans on a new bike? Next Harley?
I want a road glide, I'm sure. I took the 2024 out. I rented it from Eagle Rider, took it to Arizona.
Okay.
Because this bike was still being worked on, and man, I fell in love with it. I mean, it was a good bike, and it held up against the winds. Because everybody knows when you come back from Arizona, you hit those winds.
Windy. Yeah.
We were fighting off flying tumbleweed and debris, and trucks and semis were swerving into us left and right. But the bike handled very well. I was impressed.
So the 24, not the 23 and down?
Yeah, I rode all of those every year, because on Mayans I rode a road glide. So every year they, changed it over. They could catch it up to the year. And yeah, the 2024, there was something about it was pretty magical. Yeah.
Okay.
The way it handled, like, it was just so smooth and effortless, and I liked it a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll pick it up at Bartell's if I do, though.
Yes. Shout out to Bartell's again. We
Once
love them
again.
there.
Hold me to it, Ron. Yeah.
Nice. So what's on the plan now?
As far
as career-wise?
I can't talk about it
Oh,
right
okay.
now. I got something in the works, I heard. And it's one of those things that I'm confident it's there, but until they sign off on, the dotted line, I don't wait for it. There's too much to do in between.
Right.
But we have some projects that we've been working on, as far as writing and other things and music. But right now the denim company has been a priority, because
I'm excited about
we've
that.
had such a push the minute we launched it, and we've had a lot of good opportunities to work with people, pop-ups, events, and
Well, a lot of people are looking for riding pants.
that's why we did it. We did it for our community, and the support's been great. And like I said, there's something about this community that makes it even more worthwhile, because you see a lot of the same faces and people, whether you're at a meetup or you're at an event, or when we were in Arizona, we were stopping off at the gas stations. We'd run into people randomly, and it was just such a
It really is a
communal
good
thing.
community, and everyone's so nice and down to earth and willing to help.
Yeah, I mean, I met up with you guys through a crazy time, which turned out, it was a bad day that turned out to be one of the best days.
I was so happy to make your day. Yes, if you want to share with everyone what happened.
I mean, I can, in a nutshell, without getting too deep, I just had a medical concern that was pretty, it was kind of messing with my head a little bit. I was a little nervous, and I was kind of internalizing it too much. And then when I was having to deal with the bag situation, Tom at Bartell's put me in touch with you, and Advanblack decided to give me a hand and get the bike road ready for travel again. And it was that little thing that kind of made a tough day an epic day. And we've all established a friendship now and a kinship, and the people that I've got to work with through the years that sponsored me with bikes and bike parts, it's just one more, link on the chain that just is tight, and I like good people, it's just.
Well, we were so happy to help.
Well, I'm grateful.
It made our day.
Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm going to ask you, so why do you think people like aftermarket Harley parts?
I think people like aftermarket Harley parts for a number of reasons. It's one way to, you have the good model of when it comes to the parts, the engine, the things that work, the things that make the bike. But when people get to customize it and really make it their own, the dedication, because we all want to, customize our bikes overnight, but we know that it's an ongoing process. It can be a costly process. You can change your mind at the last minute and want to go with something else, or I just think it just makes the connection to the bike that much more personal, because you kind of do have a say in what's going on with certain things, and that's a reflection of you and what you like and what works for you. And when you have good people that do great craftsmanship, that offer these aftermarket parts that are epic, it adds to it. It makes I think the bond with the bike and the rider that much more, solid.
So I have to ask you, did you name this bike?
This one already had a name, but I can't give it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I got her off, my friend, and like I said, it was an unexpected purchase, but a worthy one.
So there's a history with
Yeah,
the bike.
and the
Yes.
thing is, like, I just honor like the legacy of what it was when he had it. And,
That's beautiful, and I know the connection between a rider and his bike is really
Right.
strong. It's not like a car.
it's totally different. In fact, I mean, God forbid, but when I bought my Road King, I mean, it was a heavy story. The guy I bought it from was going through a divorce, and he was selling everything to make sure his daughter was going to be taken care of. He was a really good guy. His name is Sam, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to buy the bike because he knew I wasn't, tire kicking, trying to wheel and deal. And the day I went to get the bike, I remember he was a breakdown and cried. And I said, hey man, do you want to take it, for another ride, and I'll hang out here for a while. And he did.
Right.
And I told him, God forbid anything happens to me and the bike's intact, I want the bike to go back to you. He's younger than me.
Okay, you're awesome.
Well, I mean, he was awesome because, like I said, what I got, but it was just, I like that bond.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk to him every day, but we have that understanding. And because I know it's a weird way because part of it's still his, even though it's mine, and
Right.
I pay on the insurance and everything else. There's a part of it that
That
I owe a lot
emotional
to him.
connection.
Yeah. I'd want him to have it. If something happened to me,
Okay,
definitely.
that says a lot about you.
I try.
You're
I try.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say this honestly, like, I try to be a righteous person. I don't know what good or bad means in this world. I really don't, because it gets played out in so many different ways. But I had a lot of help when I didn't want it at times, when I needed it. And so the older I get, I'm like, you can't, as much as things are ours, they're not. We have to, like I think we talked about the show.
Yeah.
As much as, it was part of us, it didn't belong to us. It belonged to the people who watch and support it. So, the experiences, the miles, the times, the different, that's mine. But if this has to get passed on down the road, I'd rather pay it forward than, if I can't take it with me, which I want to, but,
Yeah, and I like that saying, paying it forward.
Yeah.
I wish more of us thought that way,
I mean, I think a lot of people do, but the people that really do it don't probably talk about it, which is cool, right?
Right, but we don't. And I think we learn that as we get older.
Yeah, because the sands get a little bit less up on the top of the hourglass, and it's definitely something we think about.
We get wiser and realize life is about so much more. We need to pay it forward.
And I think we think about that too when we get on the road every day. I mean, that's just, it's a daily reminder.
Yeah, like we were just talking, that's part of what is the hesitation with my getting on the road.
Oh, you can do it. Just be fearless.
Yes.
Be fearless. I mean, it would be great if you get out there and do it, because you'll be happy and better for it for you.
All I know is that during the class, I fell in love with the wind.
Yeah.
It seems so peaceful, and I could see myself becoming a daily writer.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Because it's, it's almost like love. It's better to have loved and lost and not have it. Well, it's better to get on a ride and think
Not
about,
having
I should have
loved
done
it all.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to be 60 and say, I should have.
Yeah, you want to be 60 and say, I did this many trips. And
No, I want to be 60 and say, let's take a ride.
Yeah. And I've done this in my time already, is all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you want people to know about you?
Nothing, to be honest. I mean, I know what I do for a living, and I get all that, but I think at the end of the day, I think I'm a pretty private person.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for the most part, when I'm out riding, I really try to be under the radar. When it comes to the people I keep around my life, I have 4 quarters over 100 pennies any day. I just got a tribe that I keep pretty tight, and I don't know. I'd rather just be out on the road, or just
Be free
doing
and
things and
throw the cell phone
like,
out.
Look at me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a peacock. I don't need to boast anything.
Well, when I Googled you, I learned that you weren't just a vocalist and a drummer and an actor and a producer. Now you're a writer.
Yeah, I like to write. Keeps the mind working.
So you're a true artist.
I guess. I
You
don't know.
are. You are.
I have to do what I have to do to get through the day and feel like I've utilized certain things.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to see things come to life, you know, whether it's a script or a story or a character development.
Good storyteller.
It's crazy. And that's really, I mean, people think about acting, that's all it is. It's storytelling. You know, it's not acting per se, I guess.
So it's like just having fun.
Sometimes. I mean, the only thing about storytelling, was what we call it, that people don't realize is if you're going through emotions of anger or sadness, despair, anything, anxiety, and you're relaying that, you know, to the camera or to another character, your body thinks it's real. So sometimes your body will
still believe.
I mean, I had, you know, episodes or seasons where my body was a little shell-shocked for a while. I had to find a way to get it out of my system.
Well, like we were talking, when I was watching the Mayans, I thought, oh my goodness, that is so violent. And so you kept that in your character and then had to like shake it out?
You'd have to shake it off, or, you know, certain scenes that really hit me were like scenes I had with my mom on the show, or, you know, loss, or, you know, just having to internalize things and that bury it down here. And it's like, it was like a stress that kind of wore me out.
That's where running probably helped.
Yeah, and the cool thing about, you know, filming was, for the most part, I had to ride, you know, 40-something miles a day to and from work every day. So that was always a way to kind of decompress, and also a way to kind of just ease into the morning, because I don't remember sleeping much for a few years. I just didn't sleep much because of filming. You know, our schedules are so varied. Night shoots, morning shoots, midday shoots. It just depends, and I don't sleep much anyway, so yeah.
And you were saying hours of filming.
Yeah, preparation, and sometimes my trainer had me up at 2 a.m. to train before I went to work, and
to train for
the, you know, just physically, just kind of stress relief or whatever. But then sometimes when we were riding, or I was riding to work, you know, sometimes I remember flying into work and almost going off the freeway once, and everybody's, oh, it's winter time, it's ice on the roads, you know what I mean? Just because you're just in such a mode.
Yeah.
Sometimes the heat, I got heat stroke once or twice filming, because you know, out on the bike. But hey, you love it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You love it. Oh.
So, what is the next show you're going to be at? We were just talking about a...
I cannot talk about
No, not movie show. The next bike rally.
Oh, sorry.
Bike rally.
Well, so I've got a couple events coming up. I've got the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride coming up next week. That'll be on Sunday. I don't know where the location is yet, but that is a group of gentlemen. It's a worldwide event, but I'm an ambassador for Los Angeles, which I'm honored. And it's for men's prostate health, but also men's mental health. Okay. And Trinidad and I, we're excited to be part of that, because being a vet, he works with a lot of veterans that, you know, when it comes to rehabilitation or job placement, he's very involved in that. And then being in recovery, I'm also a big advocate for that, because I do understand the importance of it. And the guys that run DGR, Don and Anthony, are just legit. These guys are all about it. Like, I was really just blown away by how these guys operate. So we have that coming up on Sunday, and then we have Born Free coming up, which I'm super excited about, because I like going every year anyway. So there's a couple things that we have coming up, and then, you know, I'm taking off to Sturgis. I'm gonna go have a good time.
Good.
We do it every year, so yeah.
We'll go definitely to the last two. The ride, I think Ellen might join you on that ride.
I hope he does.
Yeah, I think he will. Thank you so much for
spending
time with us.
Thank you. I've had a great day with you all.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you.